Alright. False alarm. Things are all sorts of messed up. Alright, well, we're going to get back to work here. And we are going to get these emissive maps working properly. Just going to quickly clean something up real quick. Alright, cool. So what I want to do here is I want to make it so this ESDig thing, I'm not really sure how to do this, but I want to mask this this thing. And I wonder, we make a new node, like insert a combine, like is there a cutter? Can we cut, like if this goes to here, no, it's not a cutter. So I want to take this I and I want to output that. Can I actually do this? I don't know much about Harmony. Alright, so it's the opposite. Like basically I want this all to be black and I want the middle to be white. Or I want all the outside to be black. Is there some sort of mask? Maybe there's already an example of this. I'm gonna go open Bitey real quick, and we're gonna take a look at what Bitey's got for his character, because I think he's got some emissive on him. But basically, what I realized just a little bit ago was that my emissive map idea is that I'd have different UV coordinates, which is stupid. Like if I have different UV coordinates, I also need extra geometry on the object in order to define where the little box is, where all that is. And I think there was emissive on his breathe or something. So where are the idles? Jumps, running jumps, trotting jump. No, I don't see anything. Shit. Disable is D, not the delete key. No, that should not save that. Alright, I need to figure out how to mask. Well... I mean, is there some sort of... I want to make this all... Is it like a filter? It's like grayscale, or... Basically, I want all this to turn into black. Adjust. Generator, burn in. Let's see if there's a thing online. Harmony mask combine? Or it should be like Toon Boom. So it's like cut, composite. Yeah, okay, well we got that. But we want to... I mean, let's make a... Make layer black. Toon Boom. I mean, is it just like a... I mean, is it color transform? Is that what it is? Ah, man, this... I mean, there's a shadow layer, but like... Maybe it's a composite layer, and then I can like do something with it. Maybe there's like layer properties that I can mess with. So let's see, what can we do with the composite layer? Is there a grayscale layer? And then maybe I can... Shading. Is there like a tone shader? I have no idea what this... No, 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 no. What is it? There's got to be something here for... color override? What is... No. There's got to be something to make a layer... I guess that there's a grayscale thing here. To make a grayscale other properties for it, where we can like... How come it's not grayscale in the output? Like that's our output. Like what? We're on the display ESDig and it says it's gray, but it's not. Maybe if I go to the rendered view? Okay. Like I basically just want to turn this thing into a mask. Like I want it to be either black or white, you know? Well, welcome back, Lucas. I'm trying to figure out how to do some basic stuff in Harmony, which is what I want to do is I want to make this body here black and I want to make the eye white. I don't know how to do that though. Like I basically want to just take something and like make it just like black. And it's just one of those things where I know exactly how to do it in a lot of different ways. I just don't know where in the hell in Harmony any of these things are. Maybe I can ask the expert. Do you want a code that gives you free shipping? No thanks. Thank you for the offer though, but I think I'm all up on stuff at the moment. Is there like some sort of filter or adjust? Like, it's not a blur, it's like... Is there like some hue saturation crap I can throw on here? You know, some stupid color change that turned this thing into. If I just take the saturate the lightness to 0. I guess I could take the lightness to 100 and then I can this is such a stupid thing to do, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just want to get some basic stuff. If I take this and throw it like insert like a I have absolutely no idea if this does what I want it to. But let's just find out. Failed to remove working directory. Alright, I probably have it open somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Because what I want this to output is I want this to output the black background stuff there. Alright, so the export's complete. Let's go take a look at it for the emissive map. Yeah, so the emissive map looks like this, but when you actually look at it in like a paint program, it looks like this, which is totally what I think I want for a fat sack. Like his eyes will now glow green. Is what I want. Because I was looking at these, like maybe I could use texture coordinates for the emissive map, and I kind of realized like that's not actually what I want. What I want is I need something that's the same size as the other sprites. So we don't have to make new geometry. Now we can use differently sized or compressed textures in order to save space, but we still need the same UV coordinates. Otherwise, we're going to have some massive problems. We need just separate geometry if we're going to do that, and that's just unacceptable. Like, we can't do that. So let's, as you can see, we've got our fat sack here with some really harsh lighting on him, but his eyes aren't glowing. So if we go to our material, we do have our emissive texture, and it is this one texture slot. We're grabbing a color out of it. Let me just try slapping these additional texture 1. Alright, let's see what we actually have inside of Fat Sack's SDIG here for sprites. We do have slot number 1 emissive sprite sheet. So let's take a look at what the emissive sprite sheet's got on it. It's a default color, I guess. So supposedly that's what like our material looks like. Why does he have a big dot on his head? Is the texture not the same size? Oh, no, it's our material is screwed up. Our material is not using the correct texture coordinates. This should be coordinate index 0. So let's make sure to apply that. What's going on here? Alright, yeah, I had screwed something up when I was pushing this stuff in here. So what is this? This emissive color. So what is this? Controls which parts of your material will appear to glow. Well, let's make sure it's actually working. Like, supposedly this thing's using texture coordinate 0, and it's using the emissive's additional texture, which is the 1. Our sprite sheet definitely has the emissive set to the SDIG emissive sprite sheet. So the only thing that we can think of, or at least that I can think of, is it's just not glowing that much. So let's do a multiply. Let's do a constant. Let's just multiply it by 20. And throw that in the emissive color. So we have this as a vector displacement map. And what is FatSax SDIG? This is a default texture. This is a normal map. And this is a default. I guess we need the vector displacement map. I guess we're importing these things wrong. So we need to actually close a lot of this stuff. And what is this black texture? This black texture is being set as a, yeah, we need a vector displacement map for it as well. Yeah, Adam, I was just asking how to basically take Fatsack and only have the eye draw, but still have the black background, like for the emissive map, have it look like this. And I struggled for a little while to get it, and I ended up just doing a cutter with a hue saturation and then negating it and just compositing it because whatever. Let's see, I need to import these textures at the correct texture type. Now we don't want TC default, we want the other ones. Oh no, Visual Studio's locking up on me. Why? Why, Visual Studio, do you have to do that? Fucking Visual Studio, like, just stop it. I'll just Google it, it's faster. Is it inside of texture? That H? Fine, we'll just look for the enum in all the frickin' files because you can't fucking find it, can you? Alright, so we need the vector displacement map. And we also need to change that inside of our character import tool. Yeah, I'm very close to getting all the import stuff working properly. I took a long break there, watched the NBA Finals game repeat, and was sorely disappointed that the Cavs did what they did, which was fall apart. I blame gravity. So what's going on here is we should get like a green glow on his eyes, and we're not getting it right now, and I need to figure out why that is. And I don't really know how the emissive stuff works. Also, I spelled hooking wrong in my my channel description, so shame on me. Yeah, brightness and contrast. I was like, there's got to be like some grayscale thing, and then the grayscale color thing didn't have like a clamp value or something where I could be like, if it's, you know, make it super grayscale, whatever. Anyway, let's import all this stuff. Alright, so we've got our textures, their vector displacement. Oh, another thing I found that the normals that you're working with are inverted in the green channel. This is totally fine. Keep it the way it is. But the normals were all backwards, so I was able to solve that. And one of the things that I also had to solve was flipping the character over actually like totally screwed up the lighting, which is why you'll see these like there's Bitey facing himself over on these areas because they were like inverting the normals when you rotated about the z-axis, which was just awful, but yeah. Alright, so what does the emissive color expect? Controls which part of your material appear to glow. Yeah, that would be exactly why he was all not very fun. Like we got slot 0 and slot 1, and it's the emissive sprite sheet. The mask lit sprite is it just doesn't look right. Like we definitely should be seeing things looking here. Oh, the text coordinates are wrong again. It's just not doing what I think it should. Like, this is with a white texture. You know, all these things are doing what they should, except this fat sack dude just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to glow. Yeah, it doesn't mean that Unreal is right. You know, it's just things are like that. So why, with these fat sack dudes, are we not getting... I wish there was an easier way to troubleshoot these additional textures. I mean, I could just use a... Like, there's the sdig sprite sheet there. I mean, if I just... Look at those frickin' robot eyes. Ah! So when I use additional texture 0, when I use the additional texture from the source texture stuff, I'm actually getting, it looks like, just crap out of the out of this material. Like if I just use like a normal texture sampler, okay, now it's working. There's some screwy stuff going on here with the material editor. Stuff just doesn't work right. I've been having a lot of problems with the material stuff where I'll do something and it won't work, and it's not because it's wrong. All right. Alright, cool. So this is, I don't know if you're there, Adam, but So it works just like you would expect. I'm gonna leave some of this garbage in here just because, I don't know, I feel like it. And I figure you know a better way to organize all this shit than I do. But basically, we can't have if you're going to make an emissive map inside of Harmony, make sure it's the same exact size, you know, like that it comes out like this. It could be masked or whatever you want, but support the full color of it. And you export it just like normal here. All the stuff I showed earlier with that. And of course, if you get that error with like can't export to a directory or can't delete it, it's probably because you got something open in that directory. Like I had Explorer open there. Because it's got to clear out all the trash. You can't do that in Windows if you've got it open. But so it'll create all these guys. So we have all our sprite sheets and all that. So we import it, it should do just the same stuff. And yeah, it should just kind of work. This is the idea, so we can have glowing fat sack eyes. So like, yeah, and the reason for that is we need to have the same sized sprite. For the UVs to match up properly. If the UVs don't match up properly, then it's gonna look like complete crap. And basically, the UVs have to match up properly because otherwise we'd have to have different geometry. Because, you know, the UVs don't make any sense. For us to draw, you know, this quad, basically, it's not very fuzzy, is it? It looks like it gets artifacted to all hell the further you go out. Wonder if there's some setting in the material. What's causing it to look really bad? But yeah, when we're drawing this quad, basically, like, it's just a square, and its UV coordinates just go along it. So, like, if we had different UV coordinates, we actually need to have different geometry, because the UV coordinate for the eye would need to be mapped to, like, the top left-hand corner of the box or something, and that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. And if that's not what we were doing, we would have to draw a separate piece of geometry, like a tiny little square that's just the size of the eye over that, and that's actually probably less efficient, actually, than drawing, just sampling the damn thing, in some ways. Anyway. Let's just see if we can hook it up directly to the emissive color. Yeah, so just a little bit of emissiveness. And what was making it look real shitty was the probably the bloom on different parts of it. So they've got those little glow-in-the-dark eyeballs. Let's see if we can do anything here. Is there a blur layer group that we can actually insert? Yeah, I think it's just looking weird because the shadows are on there and his arm is all like super screwed up because there's no shadows on his arm. I think that's what's causing my brain pain at the moment. Alright, so I think that's the materials there working properly. So what should we do? We should probably parameterize the glow factor or something like that. Like, we should probably like copy paste this and make like a parameter name called like glow scale and do like a multiply. And glow scale's default value should be 1. And maybe we can hook that up later. Yeah, the really nasty part of this was in order to get the sprites working properly, the two-sided sprite material stuff does not work properly with normals from Paper 2D. It's all sorts of jacked up. What you have to do is take the two-sided sine of the geometry, and if that is This is probably what was screwing me up earlier, is this is a -1 instead of a 0. Alright, so if it's greater than 0, yeah, but basically if I didn't have this sort of thing going on here and I just like plugged the normals instead directly over here, then his normals are all flipped and screwed up. So basically you have to say, basically if the two-sided sign is equal to or less than 0, then it's okay to use this texture 0 as it is. Otherwise, you have to just flip some of the normals on it. Like you have to flip the X and Y normals, but not flip the Z normals. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And I think it's because of the paper sprite stuff that kind of goes in there. And the other thing is, we want to parameterize that roughness, don't we? So we want like parameter name, want the roughness. Want the default value to be 0.7. And we want to chunk that into the roughness right there. And let's pretty this up a little bit. We'll call this the base color and alpha section. We're going to have the normal of our normals over here. Normals. And we'll have our emissive lighting section down here. And does roughness come in with, I'm guessing, it's just lighting stuff, so maybe just call this normals. Fuck it, we'll just put roughness over there. And then we'll have depth. Alright, so we're actually making some progress and making things look pretty as opposed to just making things look awful. We'll get back to that soon enough though. So I think we're pretty good with a lot of this stuff. Like, that's starting to come together as what we want. So why don't we go ahead and mess with something. Like, let's take fat sex, dig, and we want like hand normals. Is that what I called it? And let's just see if our import process likes that. So Fat Sack's got a giant X on his butt now. So yeah, it totally works. You can totally